The business is Pete McCluskey and Sons, and we run Lea Farm and Lea Farm together. We've had to experience quite a transition over the years with open cast coal going over more than half the farm. So we're restoring the soils back to what or in the process of restoring them back to what they once were. The dairy has been away 20 years now, so we're missing the farmyard manure for the soils. We've always had a rotation, and the dairy was fed a lot of whole crops, not just grass. It was very little grass, it was whole crops on that when we did have it. So the rotations were with winter oats and winter wheat, and some years when the climate's changed and we didn't get things back in quick enough, we'd have to revert to spring barley. But over the years we're into all winter cereals again, and we made changes 5 years ago when our machinery was ageing as well, and justifying the cost of all that. So we've changed to using a contractor and work with the man who the cultivation equipment we want to use. He's of the same mind like. We're farming about 450, mainly all arable, with winter oilseed rape, winter barley, winter oats, winter wheat. We have spring barley at my wife's farm, which is maybe 15 miles down the road. It's included in the rotation here, and we have 70 acres of grass. Medium loams, and maybe slightly heavier than that in some of the parts of it. Remember, our height above sea level, we're roughly from 500 to 650. So we try to gear everything to winter cereals, and it works best up here. In 5 years we made a decision to change things, and our machinery was needing updated, and we couldn't justify all the cost of that, and we were needing a change of an agronomist as well. So the chap who we have working with us now, a contractor who's a farmer as well, he has the minimal tillage equipment as well as having a plough, etc. We have our own plough, but we do the works together, and that's working very well. Yes, well, the wheat crop after this rate that you see here, after harvest, when you saw today the passover with the trio, and if it's the field, this is a good open soil field, this which has been open casted many years ago, and it's a good soil, so we're not going over that with the discarator at the moment. So it's passed with the trio, and then we'll with the Sumo, and it'll be uni-pressed, and then just in preparation for sowing when we need to go, because the seeder we're working with is a Vaaderstad drill, 6 metres, so it can go up to 100 acres a day. So we have to have ground prepped in front, so it's all worked in. With the uni-press we can work in advance, whether it's with the plough or minimal tillage, and that seals the soils ready for planting. We normally plough for winter barley, and we'll plough for winter oats. And if we had to plough, if it was a season where it wasn't going to work, we would plough everything if we had to, but we try to do as much minimal tillage where it's feasible to do so. Oilseed rape goes in with minimal tillage as well after the winter barley. So we do that, and we do the winter wheat after the rape. So everything's been chopped in the last few years. If weather's against us as well, we want to get winter cereals back in, and if we don't get the straw off, then it can curtail putting winter cereals back in. So we just take the decision on the year, and this year with the higher straw prices, winter barley we always 90% of the time we'll bale it and get it off, just because we don't want a lot of trash for oilseed rape going in, so for getting it buried. So it's baled and carted off and sold, and then it's usually AD, the Digestate from that from the AD plant normally goes on that ground and worked in for minimal tillage for rape. Obviously you get pre-emergence on where we need it and need to use it, and fertilisers are not really applied till the springtime. We'll have the AD on, the Digestate, the AD plant goes on in the autumn. That does the rape right through. We'll put some nitrogen on it, but it certainly helps, and the winter wheat. So we don't need to use any of our 10, 15, 21 in the spring for that. It just work with nitrogen and sulfan. You have got to look at the cost of fuel, yes, but it's timeliness for getting the crops back in. Up here it's paramount we get them all. Our aim is to have everything sown up by the end of September. One of the biggest benefits of min-till is getting the volume of acres sown quickly. We're fighting the climate, we're obviously fighting the weather up here where we are, to get autumn cereals back in again, and with the whole farm being in autumn cereals, it's critical that we get in front of us and try and keep in front of ourselves, and with minimal tillage to do oilseed rape and the wheat after rape, that makes a big difference to prepare for sowing and keep in front. And it doesn't always work that way. We had seed potatoes last year in our rotation. Every second year we sometimes have potatoes in for seed, and we ploughed and sowed that. And last year the winter barley and the winter wheat ended up going in, the winter oats ended up going in with the piggyback system just because of the conditions. Well, with oilseed rape we're working with a high heuristic, so it's a fixed acreage which we grow in contract with Frontier for. And winter barley we grow a feed variety, just go for yield, which is Tower. We will look at new ones that come along. Tower's been working well for us here with good yields. Winter oats we work with, up till now we've been working with Gerald, which yields very well here, but we have a contract with Quaker and they are stipulating it must be Conway that they want, so last year we had to plant Conway, and it's done very well for us this year. So wheat wise we've been going grafting every year. We've got a crop of Colosseum in as well this year, which is a bit later after potatoes. It was too late to put grafting in, but again grafting is growing for its early maturity to get winter cereals back in again, and it's been yielding well with us. But we're going to be trying Dossum, a new variety on the trials list this year, so 80% of the crop will be Dossum because we have a carryover of some grafting seed, so we're looking forward to see how that performs.